So today I'm joined by Maxwell Stevens. He's a real estate agent from the Lake region of the Poconos, and we talk about business philosophy, content creation, and being authentic. Take us kind of to the beginning of your career. Obviously, you kind of grew up in the real estate industry.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this before you even talk about kind of how you got here. Was real estate always something in the back of your mind? Like, did you know like I was going to end up here, or was it the opposite where it was like, I want to go the complete polar opposite direction of what my family business is?
It was the like polar opposite. Yep. So like I grew up in the family business. It's been my family business I'm the third generation in real estate. So it was my grandma and my mom, my grandfather, my grandma's brother, like literally my whole family's in real estate.
That's awesome.
Everybody. And so we used to go around caravanning when we were little kids, and we would they would show houses, and after like the 5th, 6th, 7th house, we were like, Mom, come on, like not another house. Like it was fun. We used to play customer and like play agent, like when we were little kids. And
she was secretly training you.
Well, I don't know if it was that, but it was really like it was cool. Like I remember going to like my grandma and grandpa's lakefront house that they bought, and like we saw it first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then they bought it, and we created all these memories in there. It was really cool. But like in my 20s, I moved out to Bozeman, Montana, and I wanted to be a restaurateur, a professional bartender, ski, and travel the world. And I did that.
That's
it was
awesome.
Epic. It
That's
was
cool.
like the time of my life. And I said, I will never go home, and I will never get into real estate. So I went home and got into real estate.
Of course. Yeah. Naturally, what are you supposed to do? I mean.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, that was it. And so like about 6 years ago now, my mom had the opportunity to switch to Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.
Yep.
And I don't know, the stars just aligned, and we were like, are we going to do this thing? And
so tell me, because you were telling me this story, which was awesome.
Okay.
About licensing and how it was about to expire.
Oh yeah, so okay, when I said I'm never getting into real estate, it's because I took my real estate exam when I was like 18 years old, or it would be about 18 years old. And so Mom has the opportunity to get into Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. We're like doing this rebranding and everything. And actually Trisha was like, when are you getting your license? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not, and we're rebranding for Berkshire Hathaway. And so I call up the real estate commission, and or board or whatever, the licensing. Yeah. And I said, can I use my credits that I did so long ago? And they're like, yeah, you have a month left. They're only good for 10 years.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I was thinking like, I'll do it in a few months.
Right.
No, like if I wanted to use those credits, I had to. I drove down to Philadelphia. I took a crash course study exam, and then just like studied for 2 weeks straight at a coffee shop. Took the national test. I passed the state. I failed the national. Then I went right back.
Took it again.
Took it again, like 2 days later. Like I had to get it done.
Wow.
And I actually, like anybody looking to get their real estate license, I recommend doing it like that, because you end up like sitting on it. Like, I mean, look what I did.
It's fresh in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah, I sat on it for 10 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it was, all the stars aligned. It was perfect. And so I took and I passed the test nationally, and I was like, I made it.
That's
now
so
what?
Cool. That's wild.
Yeah.
So basically it was just one of those things, timing lined up, you were thinking about making a change, the rebrand is happening, and then licensing worked out perfectly, and then all of a sudden here you are in real estate.
Licensing I was so lucky. Like I couldn't have planned that out. I was so lucky. So really, like, the universe was looking out for me.
That's awesome.
For sure.
That's awesome. So what's it like being in like the family business, so to speak? Is it, because I feel like a lot of people, especially in real estate, it's one of those things that it's very generational in a lot of ways. Like you talk to a lot of different brokers from around the country.
Yeah.
You know, is there anything that you think is different from someone who grew up in it, or you have a different perspective on it, or is it just kind of like, you know, here I am, let me see where this goes?
I think I'm very grateful to have my mom in the business. You know, like that's like a blessing. It's the greatest. I'm gonna like get a little emotional.
That's awesome.
It's the best thing in the world to work with my mom every day.
That's so
you
cool.
know?
And I'm sure she's very proud of you.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's awesome.
Really cool.
To have someone who's, you know, so inspirational.
Yeah.
You know, they had the segment this morning on her, and to have that person as
like
kind of like
we
your
were like
role
both
model.
like crying. I'm videoing and I'm crying, you know. Yeah, I think I'm really lucky to have my mom, but you know, she makes me work for it.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, like it's interesting too because, you know, I am the top agent in our office, but like I grind.
Yeah.
You know, she gave me all the leads when I just got my license. She gave me all the old leads that were like dead as a doornail from realtor.com.
Basically,
and like,
cold leads.
No, like dead, like in the ground. You know, I had to like resurrect. And yeah, I mean, I called every single one of those leads, and they were duds the whole time. And the first house I listed, I called him, and I said, "Hey, I see you're interested in buying. I know you went to Realtor.com a long time ago." He's like, "Actually, we already bought." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, if I can help you in any other way, let me know." He's like, "Actually, I just got a job in New York, and I have to move. I have to sell." And so that was my first listing.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was an hour away. I had no idea what I was doing. You know, you take the test, you learn all this stuff, and then you learn how to do real estate.
I always say that like the licensing and the course doesn't teach you how to do real estate, do the business. It just teaches you how to not get in trouble or get sued.
Well, pretty much, yeah.
Right?
And then you'd still have to like continue to learn that stuff.
Right.
But like, you ever drop a key in between the deck board? And the deck is this high off the ground?
Yep.
Yeah. That like doing it was how I'm like trial by fire.
I once showed a house in the middle of the summer. It was a 150-year-old house, original door, original lock, and it was like 100 degrees outside. Sun was beating on the house all day long. The lockbox, I guess, got like super hot, and the key was like soft, but I didn't know this. So when I put it in the door, the key
like
just snapped.
Melted.
Literally snapped.
That's funny.
And I was like, what the hell do I do now?
Yeah.
I think I like ended up calling the broker, like came in through the back door, got in, showed the house, everything. But then afterwards, I literally had to send a check to the seller for like $150 to like replace the key, get locksmith.
Well, and the lock,
yeah. So it's like, what do you do in that situation?
Yeah, exactly. So like,
who do you call?
Yeah, like I'm going down to this listing. It's an hour away. I bring everything, like, cause I don't like. I'm bringing the contract, and then we're going over the contract and the kitchen table. Right? He's like moving out.
Yep.
I just, you know, honestly, it was honesty.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, hey, this is my first listing.
Yep.
I will do whatever I can for you. If I don't know, I'll learn. If I don't know the answer, you know, and
I have a support system that's going to help me
exactly.
get the
It's
answers.
been my family business, so that really helped. So like to your previous question, like that really helped me, like kind of get the history of the business. Like, how long have you been in real estate? Well, 2 weeks.
Right.
But my family's been in, you know, so that really helped. And yeah, he appreciated the honesty more than anything. You know,
people, I think, agents that are new to the business are so afraid of people knowing they're new. I know so many people when I was getting started. I got licensed at 20 years old.
Okay.
Right? And I was like, I always joke because it's like, what's step one when you get into real estate? It's like, oh, contact your sphere of influence. And I'm like, well, my sphere of influence is in college. No one's buying houses. Even to this day, you know, I'd say 80% of the people that I grew up with and are friends with and everything else haven't bought homes yet. So it's just funny because it's like, well, what are you going to do? But I had so many clients who we just wanted to give that young guy who is new an opportunity, right? And so if you're just honest and authentic with people about it, I feel like they appreciate that so much more than trying to be like, oh yeah, you know, I've been in for a while, you know, and I'm doing this.
Yeah, but they can. People will read through that. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. Right? That's Simon Sinek. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, he's awesome.
I love that. But like, it's like in our DNA. So like, if we start talking about what we believe instead of what we do,
Yep.
it's
Start with why.
exactly, and that's just that's something I read like way back when, and it just holds true to this day.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And, before we were talking a little bit about content, content creation. I know that you kind of said, you started heavily with that, kind of trying to break in, establish yourself in the business. And I feel like it goes the same way with creating content, right? Like doing these types of things where you're just trying to be authentic, be true to who you are.
Yeah.
I'm very big on like branding. And I feel like your brand is just who you are as a person, right? Your personality. And I think that's what makes you unique. And it's helpful for us, with Berkshire to have that strong, powerful backing of a big national and international brand. But at the end of the day, people want to work with you, right? They want to hire Maxwell Stevens. They don't want to hire, somebody that they don't know from a hole in the wall. They seek you out for your personality, for who you are and how you operate, why you do business. Do you think about that when you're doing your content? Like, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so when I first started the content, like what changed my life was Alan Dalton's Forever Agent movement. Like changing, just being there forever.
Yep.
Right? And meeting with clients before they're looking to buy or sell. That is the number one thing. And so what I tried to figure out, like, what do I want to do with video? Do I want to do inspirational? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? And I couldn't figure out, and it felt like if I did all of the ideas, it was not me, like it wasn't authentic, and it was just like I was trying too hard. And then I was like, I'm going to take our Berkshire Hathaway Home Services planning guides, because that's true value. And like I used it to move with my dog, and I used it to move, with my daughter. And so I just broke them apart and made videos about that. And that was like something I could believe in and really like stand behind. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
And that really, like, that got me like into the video. Now, like what we're doing today, it's like amazing. Do you know what I mean? It feels natural, organic, and I'm going to take a play off your playbook.
And honestly, like one of the things that I have to commend you on is, even like, for example, we did the live call. I think you come across as very authentic, right? Like you're speaking your truth. You're being very real about things.
Yeah.
Whereas you don't see that all the time. Even sometimes you go to conferences like this and you see some speakers, and like it's almost like you're getting what they think that you want to hear, not what they want to talk about. Right. If that makes sense. And that's not true to you. Like if you're not talking about the things that are truly interesting, like we were the other night talking about watches and all this other stuff, it's like that's exciting stuff. Like you see someone's face light up.
Exactly.
When you do that.
Like what makes you
what
light
excites
up?
you?
Yeah, what lights you up?
Right.
Yeah, I'm all about that. And I got to be able to sleep at night, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can't
100%.
be inauthentic. Like I can't, like those little white lies, they'll keep me up all night.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy, but.
And it all catches up to you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially like real estate, it's a big industry. I feel like everybody knows an agent, but it's really a small community, right? Especially if you're doing it for a long time, like you're going to see the same people over and over and over again, especially in your local market. So that all people know, like who's the person. Like everybody has that agent in their market that everybody's like, oh, don't trust them. They're going to stab you in the back. You got to watch out.
Yeah, watch that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's one thing my mom taught me was that, like, we have solid ethics. You know what I mean? We are people first, money second. Yep. And I think by doing that and putting the helping people first, the success was a byproduct of that. Right. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I love the relationships over transactions. Yep. And it's just, it's that authenticity. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's just what I'm all about.
So take us, it's been, you said roughly 4.5 years that you've been in?
Yeah, I
5
think
years.
5, yeah, it was such a whirlwind that I really don't know. It was June of 2018 or 2019.
Okay, so almost 6 years.
Yeah, it's coming up 5.5, 6 years.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So take us through like day one, no business, to now number one agent in your office. How did you get there? I know that you said before you bust your ass, right? At the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to. But was there anything that you said in the beginning, like this is where I'm really going to focus my time and attention on? Were you intentional about it, or were you kind of like, just let me go out and try a bunch of stuff and see what works?
Well, so it was a spray and pray.
Yep.
But like, so when I started, I was broke as a joke. Like, I mean, like, it was like, I need to survive and like rebuild myself.
Yeah.
And so it was survival, rebuilding my life, and personal growth. Like, that's what I was focused on, right? And then I was bartending because I wanted to be that professional bartender. So I always got that in my back pocket. So I was bartending till like 2 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and showing houses, exhausted at 8 o'clock.
Just grinding constantly.
Just grinding, and I got burnt out. I was like, this is hard. Like, real estate, to be like, get into real estate, and everybody thinks he can do it. It's you gotta be tenacious and persistent, and it really it was tough. And then little by slow. I got that first listing. I got a buyer. I was showing buyers. That's where I dropped the key in between the deck boards and had to like army crawl underneath. Like, you're just figuring stuff out. And so little by slow, like it took about like a good 4 months to like stop bartending and go into my real estate practice full time. Which
honestly is pretty impressive.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
It's pretty cool. But like, I feel like the gift of desperation. Like, I had to do it. Like, I had to do it. And like, anything I let go of has claw marks on it. I have to learn the hard way. So I did it, and then it just evolved. So because I had like very little money, I used all of the tools Berkshire Hathaway Home Services had. Because it was zero out of pocket for me. Like, we have the franchise fee, right? But it was like, it was readily available on Resource Center, like, done. And I was like, and I still use all that stuff today.
So you leveraged the stuff that was available to you.
And was like, free, because I had to. I didn't have any money.
So you didn't try to recreate the wheel?
No, I couldn't be doing mailers, and like, I wanted to. But it's check equity or sweat equity. I was in sweat equity at that point.
It's, it's so funny. I tell all my new agents when they're brand new to the business, I'm like, in the beginning, time is your asset, right? You have nothing but time. When you get to that high performing level, you'll have very little time, but you'll have the money to leverage.
Exactly.
And that's all it is. And you're trying to just slowly make that progression from no money, but lots of time, to no time, but lots of money,
and it's
where you
like,
can reinvest.
And
exactly. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, but use what's available to you. Don't come in and try and recreate everything, and just put your ass in the driver's seat and just
go
grind.
For it. Go
That's
for
it.
Like, and the worst thing that people are going to say is, no, I'm using someone else, or no, or like, so I had to get over that rejection. So like, with this whole speaking thing in front of people and like listing presentations, I actually ended up taking an acting class, a free acting class that someone was offering in our local area, and I was scared to death about this. And so I tried out for a part. We were taking acting class. They're like, we're doing this event, and they're like, hey, they called me up a couple days later. Hey, you got the part. I'm like, what? So like, that really helped me get over my fear. And I was like, I didn't do this for the part. I did this to help me to practice. And so it just, stuff like that. It's trusting your higher power. It's doing the right thing, every step of the way. And it takes a while.
So that's pretty cool, because now look at you. You're completely comfortable. You're very well spoken.
Thank you.
Very well thought out. So obviously, I always say that to people. Come up to me. They're like, "Oh, I see your videos, whatever." And I'm like, "How did you do it?" And I'm like, honestly, it's just a lot of practice, a lot of critiquing myself, like we were talking about before, and just so sensitive to yourself and being so hypercritical. But you got to just put yourself out there and try it.
Well, and it's I think I don't know if it's a Winston Churchill, but it's being scared and doing it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I'm scared. I'm scared right now. Do you know what I mean? But it's doing it anyway, because to pursue the persevere through the fear. No,
that's great. I like that line. And it's, I think, a lot of it is even now, like, being authentic, like we talked about before, and not being afraid to say, hey, this does scare the shit out of me, but I'm going to try and do it anyway. You know what I mean? Let me see what happens. I mean, you need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Absolutely. Well, and I think by me saying that I'm scared right now, or when I get up on stage or whatever, it gives people permission to be afraid. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, he's scared. He's doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, you know, our ego wants us to act like everything's okay, and we've been doing this forever, and it's like, no, like, we're learning too, man.
And that's true, because that is so much more relatable for someone, right? They see a top producing agent, they see how well spoken you are, and they're like, I could never be that. Look at him, he's so good at speaking, he knows what he's doing, you know, and they think that they don't see Maxwell on day one, right? They just see you today after the success.
But I'm still like that today.
Right,
you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's crazy. But people think we just sit around and collect money and we just like land it here. Do you know
wait, that's not what we do?
No, it's like, what?
But I think it's really cool to be able to say to someone like, hey, you're seeing the finished product or the work in progress that's 60% through that journey, but you're not seeing day one. But you're being authentic and real about it and saying, I had those struggles, I still have those struggles. But you're giving people permission to be honest and be true. And then I think that makes more people willing to take that shot.
Willing to do it, and like work through it.
So not everything's for everybody, but the reality is your competition is never going to take and use what you give them anyway.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're working with all the, like I say, I work really well with all the other agents in my market. Your house competes with other houses.
Right.
But I work really well, and like, who knows, like, maybe they'll work with us in our brokerage, or, you know, if my main goal is to help people achieve their goals faster than they would in my absence, like Gino says, right? If that's my main goal, I can't pick and choose.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I'm really like full in body and living that through the guy at the gas station I met, or, you know, another agent, a competitor, whoever I meet. I want to help people, and that's my main goal. Which is awesome. You can see that it shines through what you're doing. Thank you. Credit to you. No, I really appreciate it. So, what's next for you? You have a big goal that you're striving for. You have something you're aiming to do. What's next? Come on, you got to have like a 5-year vision of what you want. Yeah, I got some stuff. Yeah. Well, so I just sold my first house that I bought. I bought a townhouse and I renovated another house that's just, the transformation was beautiful, and I never thought I could do that. And that was like a huge undertaking. So, and then this year I just bought a multi-unit. Again, same thing. I was like, I like, you see other people doing it, and it's like, okay, I think I can do it. And so, like, I want to build that. I really want to build that portfolio up, like, personally. Wealth building. Yeah, that wealth building is it's really important for me. I have a little 2-year-old daughter, so it's important for that aspect of it. And I think, you know, I'm losing it a little bit. What else do I want to do? You got so many things going on. Yeah, I do have a lot going on. I mean, my main goal is to help people. Yeah. You know, that's the main goal. But and real estate's just the vehicle that allows you to do that. Yeah, I'm really big into investing. I want to travel. Yep. You know, like, just enjoy life. Yeah. Like, enjoy the moment just for today. That's awesome. You know, that's really like the goal. So we'll wrap it at that. I really want to appreciate you, or say I appreciate you taking the time to do this. This has been awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. Definitely have to do it again. Well, we're close. Yeah. So like, we can meet easily. This is fun, and this is really helping me, like, get, you know, more comfortable into doing the video. You're doing a great job. So keep it up. I appreciate it. Alrighty, cool.